So, Brother Naren has very kindly put together all the pointers that he has gathered from all the wisdom that Swami has shared with us about bhajans and the idea of bhajans, why we sing bhajans. And so take it as a sharing where Swami has given us the wisdom, all the knowledge. So he has kindly put together everything for us to dive deep into this topic so we can all have a better experience of bhajans together. So it's more of a collaborative thing as opposed to there's some knowledge we're sharing with you. No, it's not like that. So there's knowledge given by him. So we'll dive into it together and then we can all improve and experience bhajans better as we move along. I can't even see this slide. This is not going to be a technical workshop. I don't think it's going to serve anyone to go dive deep into technical aspects of bhajan. I think the main thing here is to understand the essence of bhajan. Why is bhajans a part of the activities that Swami has put together for us? You know, when you come together in a center activity or even Prashanti, wherever you go, I think bhajans is something that connects everyone together. Oh, let's go, good bhajans, let's go. Or in a car, you listen to good bhajans. You know, things like that. It just connects you to Swami. So we're going to talk about the essence, why we sing bhajans as opposed to the technical aspects of it. So we'll skip all of those things. Okay. So like I shared with you earlier, this is a collaborative activity. So let's have a single track to think that, okay, after this workshop, I may take back one or two things that I can put into practice individually, and that can improve my experience of bhajans. Whether you're a lead singer, or you're a chorus singer, instrumentalist, or sitting there clapping, very enthusiastically for bhajans. Anyone, any role, is just to have a better experience of bhajans. Bhajans is a congregational singing setting. So it's not so much of, an individual thing. It's an opportunity for all of us to come together to perform this sadhana together. So ultimately, it's about improving our transformation to a better version of ourselves, the way Swami intended, and bhajans is one track of it. So it's take it as a sadhana, right? So participation in a bhajan, as exciting or, I don't know, appealing as it may be, it comes with a certain level of discipline. Whether you're a lead singer or chorus, or even just as a devotee coming in. So there's a lot of aspects to it, punctuality, a lot of us struggle with. Practice is another thing. While bhajans is going on, try not to get distracted so that, we pay full attention to him. We can just use that opportunity to connect with him. So there's a lot of things to it. So we are all a work in progress. There's no one here who's a polished article. We're all a work in progress. So it's about how we introspect and see, hey, this is where I was, this is where I am right now. This is where maybe I should work towards, that kind of thing. It's a journey. So no one is a finished article here. Even the most accomplished bhajan singer, they're not a finished article. They're still a work in progress in his eyes. But Bharti Center, when whoever you speak to, they usually say, the Bhajan in Bharti Center is amazing. So we are known for the Bhajans in Bharti Center, right? And of course, we're also known for bhajans in one way or another sometimes, but mostly it's the Bhajans. So I think Naren, you're going to play a clip of Swami enjoying his bhajans.
Once in Kodaikanal, in other food, in 2005, we had been to Swami in Kodaikanal. Swami was asking us to sing songs. We had prepared a few songs, 6 or 7 songs. But that day, Swami was so on, He kept asking us to sing song after song after song. After some time, we have a we have a Bible in our, for students, there's a Bible called Sai Vandana book, and that all group songs are there. So that book opened and we started singing, all unrehearsed, unpracticed bhajans, songs we started singing. And it was nearly, it was past Swami's dinner time. Swami's dinner would be 6:30, 6:45. It was 7:15, 7:30. So everybody from behind, all Satyajit Bhaiya and Ratanlal auntie and everybody was telling, stop it, Swami has to have dinner. Swami is just closing. Swami, after, one song gets over, he'll say, Inkokati party. Sing one more. So finally, it touched 8 o'clock. And just then the one bhajan got over, and the cuckoo clock, there used to be a cuckoo clock in Kodaikanal. The cuckoo came out and it kind of announced 8 o'clock, it announced. So that's when Swami was kind of disturbed and he looked, 8 o'clock. It is 8. Oh, no, bhojanam. No, go for food. So we said, Swami, you have to go for food, Swami, it's past your time. Then Swami said, I am full. Listening to your bhajans, my stomach is full. That night, in fact, Swami did not eat. Swami retired just like that. So bhajans have the power to fill up God's stomach. And we have that unique opportunity to feed Swami every day. As bhajan singers, not only are our hearts getting full, we have the opportunity to fill Swami's stomach. Usually they say, the way to a person's heart is through his stomach. For the Lord it is ulta. The way to somebody, for the Lord's stomach is through his heart. You fill up his heart, his stomach will get full. So we have that unique privilege to fill up. For that, now how should our cooking be?
Like that, with that much of care is taken to prepare or compose a bhajan in that sense, how much more care should we take for selecting a bhajan and practicing a bhajan? So like that, take it as you're preparing a meal for Swami. How would you do it? How much care would you do? That is something that we need to think and take back. So going forward from this workshop, whenever you select a bhajan, think about that for a second. Think about it as I'm preparing a meal, a heartfelt meal for Swami. How would I do it? And then when you are here or anywhere else singing bhajans, how would you deliver it? How would you serve him? That way. That is the only thought that must be, as opposed to, did I sing it 10 upon 10 today? How did I sing it today? There's a lot more focus on that, where it should be, when you've already done all the preparation, and you've already served it with love to him, and he enjoys it, why does it matter? So, when you have prepared, when you take extra care into the lyrics, what it means, the tune, talam, you have perfected that. When I mean perfect, it's subjective, okay? When I say perfected it, meaning you prepared it to the best of your ability. Best of your ability means you have prepared it with materials that you have. And you can also engage people who know the bhajan very well, ask them for tips. This bhajan is like this, how should it be done? Another good reference point, YouTube, Prashanti bhajans, the way the college boys sing, that is the standard to think about. See, how do they do it? Get into it, get into the whole feel of it. Then when you are here and you're singing it, you won't even be distracted about, am I going to sing according to the lyrics? Is my tune okay? The talam okay? None of those things will come in. Why? Because you've already become one with it. So when you sing, all that's just left is just the baba, and that's what he needs. A lot of people skip the tune, maybe the talam, say, yeah, Swami, what Swami wants is just the baba. No, Swami wants everything. You can't just put salt in the dish and give, right? There's also sugar, there's maybe a sauce or something. All this makes up a dish. Everything comes in. So it's very, very important. You go back? Yes. Is that? Yeah, okay. It's all covered. And one more thing. So, okay, this is of course optional. It's good to know the tune. Raga may not be. because not everyone has that access to the wealth of database of what raga is this bhajan. But right now in the internet age, it's available. There are many apps, there are many websites where when you go into those websites, you search for these bhajans, every single information there that you need to know about that bhajan, to understand the bhajan better, is there. What talam it is it a 8-beat talam, or what raga is it? And then what you can do from there is, okay, so this is raga, but I don't know what raga this is. Then what you can do, you can search for bhajans with the same raga. Try to listen to it. Just try to get to know the bhajan a bit more, get to know the raga a bit more. You don't have to do the swaras of that particular raga. You don't need to know that. But at least you understand the bhajan a bit more. You know what I mean? So you are taking that commitment to know that bhajan. So when you actually sing it, you feel it. You don't just sing it, you feel it. He will get that feeling. And when he gets that feeling, you will get that feeling. When you get that feeling, trust me, everyone will get that feeling. If the singer doesn't feel the bhajan, I think it's quite hard for everyone to feel the baba. But when the singer sings with the baba, I can assure you that same baba will be felt everywhere. That's a big sadhana, that's a big seva you're doing. Because people come to bhajans for many reasons. To listen to good bhajans, maybe they had a long week, they just want to clear their mind with thoughts of Swami, names of Swami, Namasmarana, so many reasons. And out of that so many reasons, all are valid of course. And when you can do that seva, it's an amazing seva that you can do. The punyam is quite amazing if you can do that.
The singers, the main percussion. So for our center we use a nal, and then we have the harmonium player who leads the raga, right? So we say that the singer has the most important job. They are the lead singer, right? Everyone else is not a lead singer. You are a chorus singer, but you are also a singer. That means when you are seated with the lead singer, behind the lead singer, you are present in the bhajan hall. You have to sing because it is part of the bhajan. How to say, etiquette and the
Josh.
yeah, it's you are participating together. There is no lead singer sings, I'm here to meditate. Lead singer sings, I'm here to think about what happened yesterday, what happened tomorrow, what happened tomorrow. That is not the role. Each of us has a role. So you can see at the bottom left there is the chorus singers, right? You follow the lead, and then you have a very important job, which is to clap both speeds. The tendency is, as the bhajan picks up in the second speed, you tend to clap, which is fine. But you are actually allowed to clap both speeds, right? And if you know the talam, right? If you know whether it's a 8-beat or a 7-beat or a 6-beat or a 5-beat bhajan, there is a different way to clap for each of those bhajans. There are some of us who know the talam well, you follow them. If you are not sure, you clap softer, but you must clap. And the reason why is there's a very beautiful story from I think Prahalada, where his father, the king, was very annoyed with his constant singing of bhajans and playing of instruments for Narayana. So he broke all the instruments. So he said, how will you sing his praise now? He broke the drums, he broke the harmonium, broke the tampura, broke everything, right? So when there was no instruments, Prahalada clapped his hands loudly and sang for the Lord. And Narasimha appeared. So that is how that story goes. So all of us are blessed with a very natural instrument in our hands, which is clapping, which some of us don't do, which is a shame because we are blessed. Swami has blessed us with the ability to clap. If you are in the bhajan hall, he has blessed you with the opportunity to attend the bhajan. He has given you a good voice or a decent enough voice to give chorus if you're not the lead singer. If you have the ability to clap, you should clap because it is an instrument in the grand scheme of things, not just the nal or the harmonium, right? Besides that, there are some instruments that are also played which are not the main accompaniment, or we call it side percussion or side accompaniments, right? So something like a tambourine. Where the tambourine comes in, like you say, it's at the bhajan coordinator's discretion. So when a certain bhajan is a very long bhajan, you will know that the naal is just not sufficient to bring the energy. You will have the tambourine player to support, right, the naal player in building the energy, right? That's a tambourine. And then the last one is actually a very extremely important instrument, which is the manjira, which is your chingcha, which Auntie Mani plays. So it sets a very simple tempo, which the chorus can refer to clap. If all the instrument players have to be aware of where each person is. If you notice, I know it's very faint, but there's actually a dotted line, there's an arrow that's pointing towards to the right. All of them are pointing to the right. You can basically think of them as a highway, right? All of us are trying to hold hands and go together. We are building the energy together. So at any point, if somebody decides to diverge, if a tambourine decides to be fancy and play a beat that is not in tune with what the bhajan requires, or if a talam, if they get so into the energy and they close their eyes and they start playing slower or faster, you divert. You can't be diverging from the path that everyone is trying to hold hands and go together, right? So if you are not confident of playing that instrument, do not play the instrument. If you have not been asked to play the instrument, do not play the instrument. If you are able to set a simple tempo, set the simple tempo, and be aware that once you pick up the instrument, you have to play throughout the bhajan. You have to play throughout each song, because there is an expectation of that role of that instrument in that bhajan. You cannot say, this bhajan, I love this bhajan, so I'm going to play, I'm going to pick up the talam, I'm going to play. This bhajan I'm not familiar, I'm not going to play the talam. So if you are picking up the instrument, you have to be confident that I'm able to support the bhajan to the best of my ability. I know this bhajan well enough, and you have to pick up the talam and support the bhajan, right? So that is the main thing. All of us, including chorus singers, have a role to play. If not, that bottom left won't be there. Then nobody needs to clap, nobody needs to give chorus. It will just be three people, one harmonium, one naal, and this, and the bhajan energy will be very low. So that is the point of the arrows and the role that each one of us play. Okay, exactly. Thanks.
Thanks, bro. Because when everyone comes together, lead singer is important, but without the chorus singers, it will sound hollow. So everybody has to work as a team to deliver that. So,
sorry, this is very small. But that is the 9-point code of conduct.
Nine code of conduct.
Yeah.
So for today, we're not going to go through all 9 because our focus is on bhajans. So we focus on point 2 and 5. So point 2, for those who are at the back who may not be able to see, it says devotional singing or prayers with members of the family once a week. In a group devotional singing like ours, Sai Center, if you can. I think most of us at least try to take the number 5. Maybe not everyone is able to do number 2, but if you can, fantastic. Because anyway, whatever it is, it always begins at home, then goes to society. Right? So you need the discipline to be a devotee. I'm not even talking about bhajan singer. To be a devotee itself, you need the discipline, many kind of discipline. But because today is a bhajan workshop, we'll focus on the bhajan singers itself and whoever the bhajan patrons in that sense. So the bhajan coordinator role rather can be quite a task. I think Brother Naren knows that quite well, or very well actually. But see, the thing is, he has to ensure that the selection of bhajans is done properly. Of course, it starts with the singer, the lead singer, who comes with maybe 2 or 3 options. So you select based on what you feel, what you want to deliver. And then bhajan coordinator has to look at all the options that he has from all the singers who are there, and then see, okay, which bhajans would work well for today. Because if today, let's say Naren already has maybe about 5 slow songs, and then you come in, you're 6 person come in, I have a very slow song, but I feel it. It says Sai Ram, could be a faster one, because he has to try and balance it out. He has to try to balance it out. So it can be quite a task. But I have to call a spade a spade. He's been doing a fantastic job. I would have to say that the experience, I wouldn't even talk about quality, because quality is subjective. The experience of being in Bhajans, at least in the recent times, last few years, really nice. I go back feeling very happy. I hope it's mutual for everyone who's here as well. So it's a pretty tough job, but he's been doing a pretty good job of that. So you need to select the songs well. So make the job easier by being very collaborative. Like if he says, Saram, maybe today you don't sing this song, could you sing a maybe faster song? Or maybe he has 6 fast songs, he needs a nice feel kind of a slow song. Okay, just go with it. So when you come for bhajan practice, or when you say you want to sing this bhajan, try to have a few options. A vibrant one, a slow, or whatever the case, whatever bhajan, whatever speed, make sure you practice it well, often enough. And use the references of the Prashanti voice on YouTube if you don't have any other materials. And use that as a material, and then you practice based on that. Don't practice based on something else, because if you practice 100 times based on something else, it may not turn out right also. So practice based on the reference itself, which is the college voice, right? Because I think those are all, you can take it as a standard that's been endorsed by Swami for decades, right? So I think that's the main idea here. And then he has to arrange for practice. Incidentally, next week and the following month, he's going to have practice for Akhanda Bhajans. So those who are singing for Akhanda Bhajans, please try to attend. Naren will remind again when the practices are going to be. Try to attend, come with Bhajans. Who has not filled in the Google sheet for the Bhajans, please do so. Maybe after this workshop, you might go back and think, those were some interesting points to take back home. Maybe you might want to change your Bhajans, maybe not. But ultimately, there's always something to take back. It could influence your decision, but point is, there will be a practice. Please come for that. Fill up your Bhajan. So it's a lot easier for him to tabulate the list going forward. No, I'm familiar. I would have practiced it 1,000 times now. By now. I would still deliver that. You know why? Because I'm familiar. I feel the bhajan, and I know when I feel it, people will feel it too. And a lot of people will know the bhajan. So they can sing along. Then that becomes a congregation. When everyone sings together, everyone can follow. What more do you want? He doesn't need kacheri singers. He wants feel. That's what he wants. So there's no such thing as a Balvikas bhajan or a simple bhajan. Bhajan is bhajan. Bhajan with feel is what he wants. Okay, and the third point is, I think that's a bit of a repetition from what I've been sharing all along. So be honest with yourself, especially with the selection of songs. If you feel there's a lot more work that needs to go, especially maybe you talk about the Shruti aspect of the bhajan, or the talam aspect, maybe you feel there's a certain line, the talam is still going, I don't think I should do it, then do. You know what you do? Look for Naren. Try, look at the YouTube, Prashanti bhajans and all that. Then you say, you have this bhajan in mind. Maybe before bhajan starts, maybe he's taken all the keys. If he has time, go to him, Naren, I have this bhajan in mind. I want to sing, but I don't know how to. Can you help me out? Can you give me some tips? He'll be happy to help. Or maybe after bhajan, before going and queuing up for bhajan, maybe just talk to him. And he'll be happy to, he's always there to help. So, leverage on the bhajan coordinator for help. Okay, I think the rest of it, I think we already covered that.
For point 5, there's a bhajan that I want people to hear.
Okay.
So, remember the first time in your lives that you sang your very first bhajan? Imagine after all these years, how you would sing that bhajan. Naturally, there should be improvement, right? That doesn't mean that you do not sing that bhajan ever again, right? So, this is a song that is very familiar to all of us, but we don't normally hear it. Okay, we do hear it in this center, but there is a certain mastery of that bhajan that you can achieve as you practice more and more. So So what happens is, people feel that I've sung this bhajan at the samiti. I've reached the pinnacle of how the bhajan should be sung. That's not true. You can sing it a week later, you will improve on a certain aspect of it, on a certain word, the feel, the way you approach that particular line, right? So I want you to just listen for maybe a minute of this bhajan, which is sung by Brother Ravi Kumar, right? Yeah.
Devi Sai Ma, Devi Saraswati Ma, Devi Sai Ma, Devi Saraswati Ma, Devi Sai Ma. Devi Saraswati Ma, Devi Sai Ma, Devi Saraswati Ma, Durga Bhavani Ma, Kali Kapalini Ma.
So the idea is, none of us sing like him, this bhajan. So I will never fault anyone for saying that they want to sing Devi Sayama or they want to sing Gauri Ganesh Umar Ganesh or a simple bhajan. You do not have to always approach every week with a bhajan that is extremely complex, that requires maybe months and years, like what Brother Sarah said, to reach a certain point where you feel comfortable enough to deliver it in front of Swami, you know, with the assurance that the rest of the congregation is also able to follow. Imagine you're seated in a car, like we said, we're all on a highway, we're trying to hold hands and go towards Him. But because you have not sung or practiced the bhajan enough, or the congregation is not able to follow, imagine you're driving a truck, but the doors are all open. As you start moving off, people are falling out of the truck. And eventually the only person who is on that travel is just you. Or maybe just the harmonium singer, which defeats the entire purpose of bhajan and congregation singing. Yeah? So it is okay, completely fine to choose simple bhajans, completely okay to sing, go back and revisit bhajans that you have sung in your earlier days and try to gain a certain mastery for it.
Yeah, in fact, I think when I speak from personal experience, when I go back to the bhajans I've learned in Balbika, it's so interesting the way you look at it. Oh, wow, I sang it so simply then, it was fun. But now, then when you listen to it again, of course, when you listen to them singing it, then you realize, oh, I didn't realize there was this note in that line. That was the difference that made it so beautiful. You start to appreciate, oh, wow, you will always discover something. There are some bhajans I play on repeat from one point A to point B wherever I'm going. Every time it's being repeated, I'm like, oh, I didn't hear this in the previous time. I'm just picking this up now. So there's always something you can pick up. Always. And then you hold on to it. Okay, when you're practicing, let me see if I can hit that note. You know, it's just a lot of discovery. And in that discovery, what are you doing? Chanting Swami's name, Namasmarana. Can't go wrong with that, right? So your thoughts are of Him. Instead of wasting the mind on other topics, your thoughts are on Him, on His name. I don't think you can spend your time in a much more quality time than that, especially when you do that. So when you go deep dive into something like this. So this is for lead singers. So try to invest a lot more time. So that investment of practice of a bhajan is good for you, but on a larger scale, it's good for everyone around you because that energy that you're generating as you're singing, the way the bhajan is supposed to be sung, that is also a lot of punyam, a lot of seva. Okay, so this is where the 100 times comes. So you select the bhajan because maybe you heard Brother Ravi Kumar, Brother Ami, or some other bhajan singer, and you heard him sing. Wow, that's such a nice song. I would like to sing this someday. Someday, yes, definitely can. If you put your heart and soul and practice and time into it, you definitely can. Because if they can, so can you. They can, so can you. It might not take a week. Maybe it might take a month or two, a year. But you will get there as long as you keep the practices up. You talk to the right people, get the right tips, refer to the right material. You will get there. It is not something that's unachievable. You will be able to achieve if you really want to. And that's the whole point. So it's about practicing enough times in the right way. Then singers, we can do our own practice at home. So you must practice the correct way. So go back to that. So I think this is something we've covered in the first few topics. So can anyone see the point 1? Refer to Prashanti Bhajan Guru. There's point number 2, which is refer back to point 1. It's a bit of a joke, but on a serious way. If you can't find it, there are some bhajans which you may have heard in some centers, but you don't find it in their YouTube channel or on their website. So ask him. He's quite well versed in a lot of the bhajans, the newer bhajans as well. So he can refer you to the right material to learn. Okay, this is especially important for the little ones here who have started singing bhajans. I think the regular bhajan singers, they know this. First speed, we sing it twice. Second speed, we sing it once. And then after bhajans is over, after second speed is over, you go back to the first line and then you sing it slowly. I think all regular singers know. So boys, Rudra, Roshan, Hari Keshav, Hari. So all of you all are starting to sing. So it's important to know. So you all have good reference points to learn how to sing bhajans anyway. But however, just for the benefit. And also after all these pointers are done, spoken about, look at that picture of how to hold a mic. Okay, that can make a difference of how your voice is delivered. So I think we can talk about point number 7 when you start the Ganesha Bhajan, which we've been doing all along. I think most centers they do that 3 ohms to invoke the grace of Swami. And also, one more thing, I don't know whether it's covered here. This is something I've noticed. So when a lead singer is singing a bhajan, they get so into it. Second speed, finish. And then the bhajan ends. They forget to sing the first line slowly of that bhajan. And they quickly pass the mic. Like they're really in such a hurry to pass the mic away, like it's a hand grenade. But it's not. You still have the one last line of the first line of the bhajan to sing slowly. Finish that. Ending note. Finish. Then you pass the mic. There's no hurry. Finish it. Next one. Okay, this one. Yes. This happened to me a few weeks ago. Or maybe 2 weeks ago. So the first line, you must be sure you can sing. Let's say you sung this, you want to sing this bhajan, you practiced it, and you know on any given day you can deliver the song. Like 2 weeks ago, I had a bad sore throat, and I was practicing on the way to bhajan. In the car, I was like, oh my god, this sounds terrible. I don't think I can do this. So I came here, I spoke to Naren, even though Bhajan said, Naren, I don't think I can do this song, you cut my song. Or if I can choose the same simple song, I choose a simple Ganesha song. I think it's for Ganesh Chaturthi Bhajans. Then he said, no, no, you come to the back, put the key, and he was okay. Then during Bhajans, I still couldn't deliver it the way it's supposed to be. And then I asked Swami, afterward, why did you make me sing this? You know I got sore throat. Why did you make me sing this? Even though, and the key, during key taking was okay. During Bhajans, he was not okay. So what trick are you playing? Why are you doing this? Then I had a thought, which I believe it was his voice. It said, you have to bring up this point during the Bhajan workshop. Because when you talk about theory sometimes flies over people's head, but when you speak from personal experience, people might remember that and they can take it into practice. So the point I'm trying to make is, you may have practiced a bhajan multiple times, but on the day of bhajans, if you feel you are not able to deliver it because maybe sore throat or you're just not in the right frame of mind, go to the bhajan coordinator, talk to him, see if there's anything like maybe change your bhajan to a simpler bhajan or cut the bhajan. He will know what to do. He will know what to do. But if you're not for it, mentally or physically, don't sing. Because you are not singing alone in your prayer room, you're singing in a congregation where there's many people out here longing to connect to Him. Yeah. Because when you're not up for it mentally or physically, you won't deliver it the way it's supposed to be. And it will disturb the concentration. It can distract people. When they're really in the flow, suddenly you just go off on one side. Not because of anything. Normally you can, but because sore throat, you cry, or you just not in a right frame of mind, and then you sing the wrong lyrics, or you miss an entire line. It can happen. It's happened to me many times. So it is not okay. So go to him, and then he will try to say, okay, maybe just 5 minutes, maybe sing a simple bhajan, or maybe don't sing at all. Maybe he'll double up another singer. His role is to ensure the bhajan is proper for the day, for all the devotees. Because I've said this many times to a lot of people, that the reality is Swami doesn't need us to sing for him. The one who has created the cosmos and many other cosmos, everything, he doesn't need us to sing for him. What he wants is, he wants to give us an opportunity to sing his glory. And we are, I would use namesake, we are like the murali in Krishna's hands with a flute. He's going to sing his tune through us to his devotees. The important thing here are the devotees. Are we doing the seva for the devotees? Are we delivering his name, the tune, the energy for the devotees? The devotees are his treasure. How are we doing that? So that's very important. So lead singer has a very important role. But the important role is to be the conduit, to be the connector between Swami and the devotees. So when you deliver it well, can you imagine the connection for all the devotees who are coming here? It's a big seva. So his important part, his objective is the devotees. And you are of course a devotee, but I'm talking about the bigger picture here. So always keep that in mind. Always keep that in mind. The main priority is the devotees, whatever you do. These are some apps, websites that can give you the details or resources that you need if you want to know about a particular bhajan. So there's Sai Rhythms, there's iShruti, there's a Tampura app if you want to know, let's say, you know for this bhajan you're going to sing a D, but you don't play harmonium, for example. You can just get that app, press that D, and you will have different options, D major, D minor, it will be all be labeled properly. So you can just click that and that Tampura sound will come and you just sing according to it. And you can use that app and practice at home. You don't even need a harmonium at home. So that's one way, right? And what usually, at least I have done all along is, I know my key says, say F, for this song. But at home I'll practice on G. If I can go G sharp, I'll go G sharp. But not at the expense of straining the voice, because you don't want to overdo it. Then on the day of the bhajan, your F will be very comfortable. And I have to make this point very clear. I think a lot of them, or at least when I was growing up, there was this notion that for a particular song, the higher you sing, the better. Not true. You must sound full. You mustn't sound nasal if you can avoid it. You must sound full. So if a particular key, there are a lot of singers here. Some singers can sing very high key for that particular song. Some singers may be a bit lower, but there's a range. Pick a comfortable key that you can sing, but your voice sounds full. Because when you sound full, when you deliver all the different lines, you won't feel like you're straining. You're not straining. You're calling out to him with love. Yeah? So pick a key that's comfortable for you, and the bhajan coordinator will tell you, okay, I think this key is comfortable for you. You don't have to sing like if they say it's F, oh no, I think you should sing on A. But no, I can't. No, you should try. No point. Sing a key that's comfortable for you. So when you sing, it's full, the voice is full, not nasal, it's okay. Then you won't have things like cracking, going off tune, and this, that, the other, and all that. You know what your comfort range is. Not saying if you're on F, don't try to expand your voice range. You can. But on the bhajan day, choose bhajans with a key that's comfortable for you.
Sorry, this is just coming from an instrumentalist. I think Murali, myself, Brother Bimba will ask you to sing slightly higher, only because we feel that you can stretch you a little bit more. Sometimes in that stretch you might crack, so please excuse us. But only because we feel that you've been too comfortable in that sense. So from a C, we might push you from a C sharp to a D. So the one who's smiling or not will know always will ask you to sing higher. But the only reason is because we feel that you can deliver it better and it sounds nicer.
So there are two bhajans here. So remember I was just telling you about an app where there's all the different keys that you can press, you can play. Let's say this is C. So now in this case, we're going to talk about Jai Hari Bolo Jai Sitaram. It's A. A for male, and what's that? E.
E, yes.
It's E, right? E for ladies. So
Male can try.
male can try A. Let's just say I put A, right? Can you all hum along? Can we all just try? Who knows this bhajan? Jai Hari Bolo Jai.
One.
He is a male, is it? Or female? It's a male, she's a male.
Male. Comfortable, right? So now I try with E, so our ladies can sing. There's only one who's singing. Can everybody also sing all together?
So the idea is there's a website where you can scroll down, you can find it. So when I hear people who come to key in and they tell me that I've practiced this bhajan 100 times, 200 times, then okay, Siren brother, Siren sister, what's your key? Then it's entirely possible that you have practiced it on the wrong key, or a key that you possibly could sing higher or lower, right? So this gives you a general guidance, right? It says that for ladies, the key is E, right? So you sing on E. If you go to the highest line and you say that, Shri Raghunandana Shri Ram Dasharate Jaya Raghurama Nanda Kishora. So if on that key, if you are able to sing the highest line, then what you should do next? From E, on that F, the next key is F. So you press F, then you try. You sing till you can't hit the high line, right? And then you crack. You're like, okay, Naren, it has made, spoiled my voice today. No, you drop back half a key to then find the key, and that is your key.
So this exercise is to demonstrate that there are tools in mobile phone itself to give you that access. Okay.
So here we have a bhajan that is familiar to all of us. Bolo Bolo Sabman Bolo. When you are looking at a bhajan, beyond just getting the key right, you have to be looking at a lot of other things, which is, first is breath control. Where do I take my breath? Right? Where do I breathe? At which parts do I emphasize? Right? The bhajan, where does it require me to emphasize? What do I pronounce? Because a Sanskrit bhajan is sung entirely different than a Tamil bhajan, entirely different than an English bhajan. Right? So there's the pronunciation of certain words. You can't escape it, right? You have to get it right. Then the talam. So for this is a very straightforward song. The 8-beat bhajan. It's a very straightforward bhajan. But certain lines will fall on the beat. Certain lines will fall before the beat. Some will come after the beat. Right? So that you have to be aware. So and sometimes on the second street generally. On the second street generally what we tend to do is we tend to sing on the beat because it helps to push the momentum. If you were to sing after the beat, on the first street you can do after the beat, but in the second street mostly you will tell singers sing on the beat so that the song progresses quick. And you need as in the second street is much faster. So the space for you to sing certain words is also smaller. So you need to make as much space as possible. Right? So that is also there. Like for example, for this bhajan, Juta Jadavi, you can it tends to come by right, it should come slightly after the beat. It says Juta Jadavi Gandadari Dari. So Juta, right? One Juta, it comes after the beat. But if you want to do it in the second speed, when say the previous line was Bolo Bolo Om Namah Shivaya Juta, you will realize that Juta falls on the beat. And that is what we encourage people to do as well. So you have to be aware. Okay, where is each word coming? Not all words will appear right on the beat. And in the first bhajan to bhajan, you have to be aware of this. Okay.
Which you will as you listen to it over and over and over again in practice. It won't be alien to you. It's something you'll be very familiar. Breathing, I mean, of course, it is everything. We don't breathe, we are not around. But when it comes to singing bhajans, if you don't take short breaks to breathe in properly, you won't be able to finish the ending note. And when you don't finish the ending note, the song, the line feels a bit not so good. So, usually, as you are practicing, you will know which line you need to take a very deep breath because it's a very long line. And you want to make sure your ending note is hit. So to do that, take a very deep breath. And then you know, like for example, Naren, could you give an example of maybe a long line? Like maybe even the first line.
No, you can just press the next line.
So you have a button for that, okay.
So it tells you where the green spaces are where you're going to be taking breaths. Right? So even for the first line, unless you're blessed with Michael Phelps kind of lung capacity, it is very difficult for you to sing the first line all in one single breath. Bolo Bolo Sabmil Bolo Namah Shivaya. And you have to, and if you're singing on a slower tempo, then you have to have a much larger breath. Right? The slower the bhajan, you have to have a larger breath, depending on the line. If the line is especially long. So it is simple if you were to break it up and say Bolo Bolo Sabmil Bolo Om Namah Shivaya. better. You have to make sure that the Shivaya ends nicely. If not, you'll be. Oh, let's say I take a short break. You feel awkward. The Om Namah. And that is audible on the mic. Yeah? So these are things you have to take note of. Yeah. And yeah. So this is how we split the bhajan if you were to take breaths between. And you have to be aware. And you have to practice 100 times such that this becomes second nature to you. You do not realize you're taking the breath. Right? So that's how it is.
Next one.
So this is the last one.
This is the last slide. So see like how he's offering it to Swami. Same way we will every week as we prepare our bhajans. Is this the last slide?
It's a license. There's a video.
This is a video.
On end, 6:45 in the morning, the Swami would come. And if bhajan has to start at 5 o'clock, it has to start at 5 o'clock. If Swami was standing in the veranda and even chatting with the boys, he knows around that time, bhajan, padandi, bhajan, come, it's time for bhajan, you would say. He'll be standing in the bhajan hall in the front and chatting with the bhajan boys generally. But then he'll have his, one eye on the clock, as if he needed to see the time, basically to show us. He'll keep looking at it, and then when it's, like 30 seconds, he said, bhajan time, cheyandi. Or if it has struck 5 o'clock, he'll say, Omkaram cheyandi.
So much so that oftentimes he would be talking outside, and 5 o'clock Om will start inside, no? He'll do like that. He doesn't wear a watch, but he'll do, time for bhajans. He is God. We are doing bhajans for his sake. But even he respects. I'm telling you, this doing it at the same time is so important. One of our brothers, bhajan singer, Swami had asked him to put braces. So after putting for some months, he had to remove the braces. So he wanted to inform Swami he's going to Anantapur to remove the braces. So he told Swami, Swami, I'm going to Anantapur. We arrived. He said, go and come. Then he said, Swami, tomorrow evening bhajans, I won't be there. Why? Swami, because I'll be coming back from Anantapur. So he said, okay, what time bhajan starts? Swami, 5:15. Where will you be at that time? So Swami, I'll be in the bus at that time. So if you start bhajans in the bus at that time, I will come and sit next to you. See, because the timing is so important. In fact, in Dhyana Vahini, Swami tells the place and the time is critical for sadhana. That's why Swami brings us to Sundaram every week. It's very important that the space is also, because that is what is improving our spiritual progress.
So wherever we are, whether we are coming to Sundaram, whether we are going to our respective samitis, it is so important that we are punctual and regular in these places. Because what he said about Swami, telling that, okay, wherever you are, you do your bhajan, that should not become an excuse for us that, I am relaxing in my living room, I will do my bhajan here on my sofa. No. That is only a recourse if you have a proper excuse which you can tell Swami. You close your eyes and tell Swami, this, and if you think Swami in your mind says, okay, go ahead, relax, do your bhajan, like he told this brother, go get your braces done, but that is a valid excuse. We can't create our own excuse and ask Swami, I'll lounge around and then I'll sing. And you better come and sit on the sofa next to me. No, that doesn't happen. So regularity and punctuality to wherever we are going for our bhajan sadhana is very important.
Irrespective of whether we are lead singing or not. So those are the two things. The next part is about the singing part. Swami would often,
Out of the 10, 20 points that we spoke about, if you could just bring back 1 or 2 points, that can help you to improve your experience of bhajans, then the workshop is done. Good one. Okay, so more importantly, are there any questions? And I hope there are. Akshay, you have the first question. So what's your question? Because it's been one way, right?
I
So
actually
far,
have
yeah.
Swami said for chorus we all sound open throat, which means that you need to understand what's being sung as chorus singers. So I think the language for the songs chosen, given that our majority crowd speaks Tamil, we understand Tamil, English, Sanskrit I think is quite easy to follow. But like languages where it's Hindi or overtly Hindi describing God, if those are chosen to be sung, it's a bit hard for chorus singers to then sing over through because I don't know how to sing, I don't know what it means. So maybe if those songs are going to be sung, maybe Bhajan the coordinator can identify someone to lead the chorus via mic, or the chorus singers sing it, other lead singers sing a bit louder so that we feel confident enough to sing along. Because sometimes, because our lead singers are also very limited and they're also playing instruments, so it's a bit hard to sing loudly and then play instrument and then so. But certain bhajans a bit harder. First time you're hearing it, maybe that chorus part can be a bit louder. Plan for that, then for us a bit more confident to go.
That's a very good suggestion. That will only help to increase the participation for
And the energy. And the energy.
You want to ask a question?
Sorry? You have a question?
You did a good presentation.
Oh,
That's a
thank
comment,
you.
it's not a question.
Question.
Question? When is it?
Yes.
So, Brother Ben, I think most of us we are very matured singers. I mean, we sang from young. I mean, we totally agree that there's this process. But because we have learned not the right way, some of us, so like he showed us exactly where to get your key. So I think we are still learning, and to tell this more reminders to let us know that, go to this website. It's just a reminder every now and then to remind us that your key is good. Go and find out your key. Because I mean, here we have very good percussionists, right? So I came from a center where we only given one tang and then we sing, So and that tang can sing any type of bhajans, So to unlearn what we have learned, it's going to be difficult. We are also trying, but every time a reminder is very helpful for everyone, especially.
Certainly. The thing is, after this workshop, saying that, everybody within the next 4 weeks are going to be up and running, absorbing everything in the thing. This is just a starting point. So it's take it as a fresh start. So it's a journey. So we all have learned things, I wouldn't say a wrong way, because it's all intentional, everything is fated. You have learned things in a certain way, but now take it as a fresh start, because whatever you have learned is also valuable. Then you can look at it, reflect, okay, these are the few tweaks I can make. Maybe not entire, you don't need to make entire changes, maybe a few tweaks. Name the right path really. So again, when you refer to these guys, these brothers in Shanti, the college boys, right? Because it's all endorsed by the family, right? So we should be in a good track.
Sorry, I just when you all practice your next bhajan, maybe I just share what I do when I want to take on a new bhajan, or for example, there's a song that I want to sing, although I'm very familiar. So what I firstly will do, it could be I could have listened to that song, that bhajan sung on Prashanti. It could be a male or female singer. I do take note, if you practice, especially for ladies, if you are practicing from a male singer and you are practicing over it, it's not the right thing to do. You only listen for how it's being sung and how the song is being delivered, but do not practice over it, right? And then when we sing, especially for practicing over the bhajan singer, sometimes they are singing a higher note or a lower note as well. So how would you know this? Is only if you know the key when you are practicing. So again, you shouldn't be practicing, play the song and sing over it. That is not the right way of doing, which many of us are doing. It's how I used to do, which is wrong. So the next thing you do is find out the key that you're singing, or at least you know the range. So if it's like that website that shown, they'll give you a range. So it could be G for male and E for female, but it could be just plus minus 1, could be more, could be less. But use that as a base. So like use that, play that, and then you start singing that song. That's how you start practicing, and that's the base you should start. Then from then on, use that to practice it as much as possible. And this is how your journey should be. again
How to
go.
follow the Bhakti bhajan, then male singers are singing. These people don't know the key, we all don't know the key.
Yeah, so auntie, so
It's a difficult
that's
part.
why, yeah, so correct. So you listen to Bhakti bhajans for how it's being delivered.
That's right, but the
Right?
key, you have to
Key,
identify.
you have to identify, because that's the biggest problem for all of us. Could be male singers and female singers, because how they are singing that song could be of a higher range or it could be a lower range. But do not sing over that. So once you know and you're comfortable, or you know this is the lyrics of the song and this is how it should be delivered, then you take it on by yourself. That's why that shooting app you have, you play. Okay, this is my. I'll start practicing. Oh, okay. Maybe I'm very confident now. I can go maybe slightly higher. And I try higher. I try. Oh, okay, cannot. I go back to this key. So this is my range. It's okay. You come here and you practice on C. You could go to a D, but you won't go to an F for sure. So at least we have room for you to play around. So that also gives the feeling that you've already done your own sadhana, you've done your own practice, and you're ready for it minimally.
I think one keen thing about this photo actually is
And all those who held the wire, yes, really as well.
Awesome.
You didn't see anything, huh?